way, yes, this is one of my actual pregnancy tests. A bit disgusting and old and gungy, but hey, it's one for the memory box. The dribble. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Reese.
Hello.
His hair's like that because we're in lockdown.
That's so funny, banter.
I just want to start by saying thank you so much to everybody who has messaged me, liked my video, commented, subscribed. Honestly, I probably wouldn't be doing this video if I hadn't have got all of that support. So thank you so much. Today I'm going to be talking about the reactions to the pregnancy and my 18th birthday, which I was pregnant for 3 days after I found out I was pregnant. So grab a Coke, grab a wine, and it's probably too early for a wine, but you know, we're in lockdown and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So I missed my period for 2 weeks and I thought nothing of it because, you know, you just don't. And then I started to get things like my boobs started to get bigger. I was so
foods you didn't like.
Craving foods, which usually happens later on in pregnancy, but I had this weird craving for like steak and garlic mushrooms, and if you know me, I hate both of those things with a passion. Steak actually makes me want to gag in my mouth a little bit. So yeah, that was odd, but again, really thought nothing of it because I just was pushing it to one side. And then I was like so tired, but to be honest, I just thought it was like a 3-day hangover because I'd been drinking quite a lot. And then on the 2nd of December, I think it was, I got this tattoo done on my underboob. And basically, I had done a pregnancy test the day before and I didn't wait. Like, you know, it says like recommended time, like 5 minutes or whatever. I waited like 2 minutes.
Not even that, 10 seconds.
And I was like, oh, it's negative, and threw it in my handbag. And then I was in the tattoo studio with Millie and I took it out of my handbag and there was 2 lines, but I was like, oh, it's an evaporation line. You know, it says like, don't read it after 10 minutes. I was like, oh, be fine. And then I said to the tattooist, I said, what happens if you have a tattoo when you're pregnant? She was like, oh, there's a really high chance of miscarriage. And I was like, well, it's too late now. No, seriously. And then I did panic because if you know me, you've known my dream has always been to have a baby. And although she wasn't planned, if I was pregnant, my worst fear would be to lose it. But I didn't think I was. So I just went ahead and just done it. And then on the 12th of December, Millie said to me, it's 3 days till your 18th birthday. You have got to do a test. Like, oh, whingy. Is she hungry? So, yeah, Millie said to me, you need to do a test before your 18th birthday. There is no way you can get absolutely paralytic on your 18th birthday if there's a chance you might be pregnant. I've just got to feed her. You can't see anything, but who cares if you can? Normalise breastfeeding 2021. No, seriously, then Millie said you've got to do a test. So I said, okay. So we were sat in Asda and I couldn't wee. Like, genuinely, I couldn't wee. Like, we were putting the taps on, like, you name it, we were doing it, and I couldn't wee. So anyway, then I did another one later with Reese, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And we did it at Reese's house at like 5-6 p.m. maybe, and it was so faint that it looked negative, and Reese was like looking at it in like all lightings, weren't you, and like shining the torch on it and everything, and he was like, there's 2 lines there, and I was like, shut up, there's not. And then I looked at it and there actually was. So I was like, no, like, you know, you just sit there and you're like, no, surely not. And then I went to get my eyelashes done, like you do. I picked up Millie from work and I got eyelash extensions done. And I said to Millie, I just had a positive test, and she was like, are you joking? So we rang her mum, and her mum was like, you know, if you get a positive test, it usually is positive. It's unlikely you're going to get a false positive. It's more likely you're going to get a false negative. So I was like, I don't even know what to say. I'm just going to go and get my eyelashes done and just process this. So anyway, then this what happened was I went and got my eyelashes done, and then it got to what, like 7, 8, and me and Reese did another test.
Yeah, we did, yeah, went to the shops.
And yeah, I did it, and we left the test in the bathroom, didn't we?
Yeah, and set an alarm for
exactly 3 minutes. and we looked at it, and quite obviously it was positive.
Which you couldn't quite believe, so you done another 8 tests.
More than that, I kid you not. And then, as the days went on, I was taking more and more tests, and then I said, I don't believe the lines. The lines are fake. Like, I need it to actually say pregnant on there, like, you know, the clear blue ones. So we did a clear blue one, and it quite obviously said positive. And there we go. That is how I found out I was pregnant. So then, me, Millie, Josh and Reese took a trip to Tesco's in the Meadows, because who doesn't love a trip to the Meadows?
And Millie ate roast chicken crisps. Vegetarian or vegan.
Exposed, Millie! So, the first person I told was my dad in Tesco's car park on the phone. And his exact words were, okay, let me just process this.
I'm gonna keep it.
Are you going to keep it? And I said, yeah. Because I knew as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I was going to keep it. Because my dream has always been to have a baby since forever and ever, the day I could talk. So, yeah, basically, that was his reply. But in his words, I was actually talking to him about this the other day. And he said, because my mental health was so bad and I'd only just come out of hospital, the amount of phone calls he was getting saying, like, Jade's in a really bad place, Jade's done this, Jade's done that. He said he was actually quite pleased to get a phone call saying I was pregnant. Because it was actually
a nice phone call.
A nice-ish sort of better phone call than the previous ones. Yeah. So that was his reaction. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then Lisa Quinn already knew. And the next person we told was Reese's mum.
Yeah.
Now, Reese's mum, we knew she'd be quite hard to tell. So she'd been out on a night out drinking. Pre-COVID, obviously. Yeah. And we told her when she'd got back at like 11 p.m, didn't we? And she just went, we went, Lisa, we've got something to tell you. And she went, what? Like, you know, when somebody says that to you, like, I've got something to talk to you about, and your heart like skips a beat. Yeah, it was one of those moments. And she said, I said, no, Reese said, Jade's pregnant. And she went, you're joking. And I was like, I'm actually not. Like, I had the test in my hand, and she looked at it and she was like, are you joking?
Froze.
And then we were bombarded with 101 questions, because Lisa isn't a very go with the flow person, is she? She likes things to be in order. Like, she likes to sort of know what's going on in her head. And obviously Reese does football, which is a very unknown career. Like, you don't really know what's going to happen. And me being pregnant is such an unknown thing. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. She was just shocked, and we didn't have the answers to our questions, basically, because we didn't even know them ourselves. We had only found out a few hours previous, and it just took a little bit of time for her to process the information. But she wasn't mad. She wasn't mad. She just shocked on another level, basically. Yeah. Then we told Reese's dad. Now, I would say you were the most scared. He was.
Me? Yeah, I was most scared of telling my dad, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know why, because Mark is a very chilled out person, isn't he?
Yeah.
He really is a chilled out person, and
everyone was just worried that having Tilly could have changed my
football career.
Which
because obviously he's got to dedicate more time now to something else rather than football. But we sat him down and we said, I'm pregnant, and he went, okay.
Yeah, he said, oh, I thought that already.
He went, I thought that when you said that on the phone. Okay. And he was just so chilled about it, wasn't he? Which is like, he was so chilled about it, and he just said that he'd help us with whatever, and
very supportive,
and
like, everyone was very supportive.
Everyone was very supportive, but just the fact that Reese like built this up so much to tell his dad, and actually he was so chilled about it.
Yeah, so anticlimactic, wasn't it, really?
It was anticlimactic. And then we told Sonia, and I said, I've got something to tell you. And she was like, right, okay. Like, is it good or bad? And I was like, no, it's okay. Like, I'm just going to come round and tell you. And when we arrived, she was crying, wasn't she? Like, she already knew what I was going to say. And when we turned up there, she was crying, and we sat down and I just said, I'm pregnant. And she just cried, didn't she?
Yeah.
She just cried and didn't really know what to say, to be honest, and was just shocked like everyone else was. Naomi's a good one. She sat down, everyone like knew by this point basically, and she sat down and I said, I'm pregnant, and she literally just burst into tears. Like I think it was just such a shock. And yeah, like the thing is, Millie kind of knew that I was going to be pregnant. Like Millie had been forcing me for ages to do a test and stuff, so when it came back positive, Millie didn't have that same initial like shock as like my other best friends did. But yeah, so then that's basically all the main people told. And then we told like other family members like Reese's nan and granddad and stuff a bit later on, and they were all really supportive. And to be honest, we were so lucky. There was nobody that wasn't supportive. Yeah, everybody was just so lovely about it. So then my 18th birthday comes, and obviously I'm pregnant, so it's not quite what I expected.
You were doing a pub crawl, weren't you, with your dad, for drinking water?
Yes. No, my dad basically threw me a surprise birthday, which was so nice. It was a party I'll always remember. I remember walking in and everybody was just stood like perfectly in this group. And
by the bar at the village.
Yeah, by the bar and in the village, and it was just it was really nice day. And basically all my best friends were there. So Millie was there, who already knew. Naomi, it's her dad's birthday, so she wasn't there. She was celebrating with him. And Nicole and Jodie and Olivia Dean. So they were all there, and they didn't know apart from Millie. So basically they all got there, they were all drinking, everyone was handing me like these gins, because like pink gin's my favourite thing to drink, and they were handing me all these gins, and I was like thanks, and giving them all to Lisa Quinn, because obviously Lisa Quinn knew. Bearing in mind at this point I was only like 4 weeks pregnant, so like I didn't want everybody to know, because obviously you're at such high risk of something going wrong. So yeah, so I was handing all my drinks to Lisa Quinn, and she was like taking them secretly. And then I basically went into the toilet with all of the girls and said, the reason why I'm not drinking is because I'm pregnant. And they just went like the look of pure shock basically. And Nicole thought I said 6 months, so was like, oh, is it moving, like touching my belly? I was like, no, I'm like 6 weeks, not even that. Yeah, and it was just, yeah, they were so supportive. We went outside and we just chatted about it, and it was just, but I was at this point, I'm a very anxious person, and I was so anxious something was going to go wrong. And so I didn't want to almost get too excited about it, because it's just such a nerve-wracking time. Like them 12 weeks honestly were the slowest 12 weeks of my entire life. But yeah, they couldn't obviously help getting excited about it. And then I went back inside and I was basically drinking lemonade in a gin glass with like fruit, so everybody would think that I'm drinking, everyone would think that I'm drinking gin, so like not to suspect anything. And I'll never forget, Reese was like, he looked at me from across the room and was like, and I went over and he was like, is that gin? And I was like, no, it's not gin. Like, he was actually fuming.
Yeah, I was a bit pissed off, yeah.
I was like, chill, man, like, it's lemonade.
Yeah, your birthday was very much a success.
It was such a success, and although my dad obviously planned for it to be
a piss up,
yeah, and it didn't turn out to be like that, it was such a good day. And to be honest, I loved waking up not hungover. It was actually a good time. Yeah, so I was basically just drinking water the whole day because I wanted to be as healthy as I possibly could be, honestly. And yeah. So yeah, basically that's how I found out in a nutshell, and the reactions, and my 18th birthday. I'm gonna do a video. I've had a lot of people say to me they want to know about my pregnancy. So I'm definitely gonna do a video on that. But if there's anything else you want to see, then let me know, because to be honest, I'm just winging it here. And yeah, my name is Ickle. She loves a bit of Ickle Pickle. So yeah, I just want to say again, thank you so much everyone for the support, because it has honestly been insane. And yeah, I feel so thankful to have such lovely people around me watching my videos. So yeah, let me know what you want to see. Definitely, like I said, going to do one on my pregnancy and definitely one on my mental health and OCD, but I could do one on like being in a mental health hospital and then my mental health separately, because there's so much in that area that I could honestly talk about. But I could also do some other things if you wanted me to, so just let me know. I'm sort of relying on you guys to tell me. But I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you a bit of an insight to everyone's shock horror when they found out I was pregnant. So yeah, adios amigos. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And like and comment, and I will see you again soon. Bye.